Welcome to Pudding with Pops. I'm Pops, and we changed location a little bit, but today is the 20th, and we're going to read from our Marvel Advent Calendar. Let's see where it's here somewhere. I know there's a 20 here. Maybe you can see it. Ah, it's right there. All right. Let's see what Marvel has for us today. Spider-Man. Spider-Men. A trip to the zoo for Miles Morales turns into a chance to prove himself when a rampaging rhino shows up. But Miles still has a lot to learn about being a hero. Will he be able to show he has what it takes? Spider-Men. All right. You may have heard of Peter Parker, but do you know about the other Spider-Man? Miles Morales. Miles was just a teenage boy when he gained superpowers, made his own costume, and called himself Spider-Man 2. Peter began to train Miles to be a superhero just like him. So get ready to read a story with not one, but two Spider-Men. One day, young Miles Morales and his friend Grank were on a school trip. Gank. Were on a school trip when they were caught by surprise. Gank, watch out! Miles shouted to his best friend. A flood of wild animals came stampeding toward them, right through the heart of Central Park Zoo. Miles knew he had to help, but he couldn't put on his spider suit. Gank was the only one who knew about his powers. Putting on his suit would reveal Miles' secret identity to everyone. How on earth did all these animals escape? Asked Gank. As if the universe was answering his question, a supervillain rhino charged out of the woods straight towards Miles and Gank. Jump, dude! Miles shouted to his friend. He's going to run you over. Luckily for Miles, the original Spider-Man appeared. He snagged Rhino's horn just in time to save Miles from revealing his secret. Yeehaw! You're worse than a bucking bronco, Rhino, shouted Spider-Man. When Miles realized that the Spider-Man was there to help, he was thrilled. Rhino jerked his head away, yanking Spidey off his back. Wham! Spider-Man slammed into the ground. Ha! Rhino cried. Try to keep up, Spider-Man. My new animal friends and I are pretty wild. As Peter lay on his back, Miles rushed over to see if he was okay. Spider-Man, Miles said. Peter was still a little woozy from hitting the ground. Miles, great to see you, buddy. Before Peter could finish, he felt Rhino's hand grab his ankle. Rhino flung Spidey through the air and out of sight. Miles stood face to face with Rhino, but he didn't budge an inch. No one scares animals and little kids when I'm around, said Miles confidently. You've got nerve, kid, I'll give you that, snorted Rhino. You're lucky I got the web head to finish. You're lucky I've got the web head to finish. Rhino stormed off to find Peter Parker. He didn't realize that Miles was also a Spider-Man. Miles looked left and right. He was all alone. He remembered what Peter once told him. With great power comes great responsibility. Without another thought, Miles slipped on his mask and pulled on his suit. Where Miles had once stood, now bounced the one and only, well, one of only two, Spider-Man. Miles' kick to Rhino's Miles' kick to Rhino's head was enough to loosen the supervillain's grip on Peter. "Thanks for the assist, Spider-Man," said Peter Parker. "How cute," snarled Rhino. "The Spider-Men have come to meet their doom." As Peter dodged Rhino's attack, he called to Miles, "I need you to stop the zoo animals before they cause any more damage." Miles was hurt. "You don't want my help battling Rhino?" Before Peter could respond, Rhino poked his horn right into Peter's behind. Yowza! Why doesn't Peter want my help? Miles wondered. Maybe I'm not cut out for this whole superhero thing after all. But then he remembered there was a job to do. It was his responsibility to round up the animals, and if that's what Peter needed, then that's exactly what he was going to do. With great care, Miles wrestled a crocodile's, webbing its mouth so it couldn't bite anyone. Next, he climbed a large tree and guided a red panda to safety. Then Miles contained a lion by electrifying the air with his venom strike, and spidey power that even Peter a spidey power that even Peter didn't have. Eventually, all the animals were safe. Just as Miles began to wonder where Peter and Rhino were, Peter came bouncing across the ground and slammed to a stop next to him. "Ow, ow, ow!" cried Peter. "Rough landing, man. Where's another Spider-Man when you need him?" he joked. "Seriously, dude?" asked Miles hopefully. Even though Miles was still learning his powers, Peter knew the kid was ready. "What do you say, Miles? You want to see if Rhino can beat the Spider-Men?" Miles smiled. "I thought you'd never ask." Together, the Spider-Men made the ultimate team. "Have a nice trip," said Peter as he webbed up Rhino's feet. "Man, your ugly mud is shocking," said Miles as he used his venom to strike to give Rhino an unexpected jolt. "Ooh, nice one," cheered Peter. Rhino slammed into the pavement, knocking himself out. "Do you want to make the final wisecrack?" asked Peter. Miles smiled. "How's this, Spider-Man? We put the no in Rhino." Peter burst into a laughter and let out a theatrical sob. "My little baby is all grown up." After taking care of Rhino, the Spider-Men settled down for a well-deserved break. "Remember when I told you that true heroes give back to the community?" Peter asked. "Well, giving the zoo a dude dressed as a rhino wasn't exactly what I had in mind." Miles smiled and sipped his drink loudly. "Still, he definitely fits in," he grinned. And one final shot of the Spider-Man. All right, thank you for joining. We'll see you again.